Yay.
Hi everyone, it's Dr. Sarah Moore here, and today I have got the absolute pleasure of speaking with a dear friend of mine, Mama Lee, who's Mama Lee Midwife, and we're going to be talking a little bit about her online antenatal classes that she has recently released. So hello Lee.
Hey Sarah, hi everybody.
So Lee, I thought we could start off by talking a little bit about the reason why you have created these online antenatal classes.
Sure we can. It's a little bit of a long story, but I'll try and cut it short. So basically it kind of germinated from teaching for a really long period of time in real classes. And then I was working on a health project for the health department sort of earlier in the year, and that was sort of in regional Western Australia. So kind of really got to visit lots of regional hospitals and see women in country towns that kind of weren't able to access classes. And I just thought, gosh, wouldn't it be lovely to create something lovely? Because I think pregnancy should really and ideally be this joyful time of celebration and exploring, and it can be challenging for sure, but I think just to put a little bit more vitality and beauty and supportive vibes around it. And I think classes can sometimes be a little bit restrictive, or a little bit kind of programmed and a little bit kind of regimented, and I really wanted to soften that and beautify that and expand them and kind of really put women's choices on the table. So there was kind of a philosophical reason why I wanted to do it, but also just to make it a little bit more yummy for everybody and more accessible for everybody, kind of wherever they are. They can kind of jump online and sort of really get some wholehearted information that they can trust.
Beautiful. Wow. Having seen what you've created, I think you've absolutely achieved that. So well done. Lee, can you tell us a little bit about what the key sort of, don't want it to sound too programming, but learning outcomes, or what is it that you want women to take away from the classes that you've created?
Yeah, I guess I want them to feel confident, and I also want them to kind of not feel that they're getting biased information, because I think sometimes there's a slight agenda, and midwives can be guilty of that as well. So I think I kind of really wanted to say, okay, on the spectrum, what choices are available? Let's explain them in a non-biased way and actually kind of put women back in that place of decision making. So I think really the content of the classes, although it's not dissimilar to other classes, absolutely, they're all out there. They're not kind of covering dissimilar things, but I think it's the language that we use. I think it's how we explain things. I think it's how gentle or funny or truthful we are. And it's also about saying it's not one way, there are many ways, and kind of really discussing, I guess, what could be beneficial or non-beneficial, and trying to keep it in context, because everyone's story is really unique. So I really try and drive home that point of saying, I can't tell you it's this way or this way. That would be really unfair, because you're trying to kind of teach and explore things with a whole range of women. So I guess the classes, although they cover kind of pregnancy and preparation and labour and birth, those first few beautiful hours after the little one has arrived, plus that kind of breastfeeding into parenthood kind of journey, it really is kind of saying there's a lot of paths and a lot of roads that lead to Rome, and they're all valid and they're all beautiful, and really trying to build a sense of pride around whatever decisions people make, because Lady A is going to decide something different than Lady B, and that is equally valid because it's her body and it's her baby. So I just am really excited about what people choose for themselves.
Beautiful. Thanks, Lee. So I guess moving on from that, I mean, you've sort of already alluded to this, to an answer to this question, but I mean, what is it that you think that we as health practitioners need to be aware of, or what values that do women hold that it's really important that we are aware of and respect when we're looking after women during their pregnancy journey?
I think it's I can't speak for all women, but I think the ones that I've met over the years, there's such a different there's so many different women. Like if I could caricature them, it would be kind of kind of a little bit funny, but I think it's quite truthful, as in you get the women that kind of come in and they don't want to know anything. Literally, just not interested, don't want to know anything. And they often, ironically, tend to birth really beautifully because there is not a stress bone in their body. So those women, it's really interesting what they respond to or would like. And sometimes we all need to kind of moderate our language and our approach, because partly it's our job to inform, but it's also partly our job to say, okay, let's be respectful of what this woman is wanting from us, because it's a service and we're doing them a disservice if we actually just put our opinions and really don't respect their space or what they're asking from us. So it kind of ranges from those women, which, it's a little bit not tricky, but of course you have all of these things and you want to help them, but they don't necessarily want to hear, and that's their choice. Right through to the other range of women who are really keen to know, do lots of research and almost go to the nth degree. And bless them with those women. Sometimes we need to be a little bit more mindful of their levels of anxiety and stress and kind of work more at a deeper level in terms of their story and what might be blocking them. So I think as practitioners, it's coming back to that kind of core key message of holistic kind of care, and really going, okay, what's this woman kind of coming in with? What's her story? And how can I best help and serve her in her unique way?
Absolutely gorgeously. And I just, from knowing you and working with you and seeing the impact that you've had on women and their families, I'm just, feel very blessed. And I'm so glad that you have created this program for women, particularly those that don't have access to, antenatal classes because they live rurally or regionally or remotely, but also women that do. I mean, this is quite a unique program that you've put together, and I think your values come through in that your respect for women's choice is just beautiful, and I can't wait for women around Australia and I guess all over the world to be able to access it. So thank you so much for putting aside some time to speak with me today. It's been just beautiful. And and I wish you all the best with I believe you're going for a little journey around Australia to share your program with other women.
It's the start of, I guess, a new chapter. So it's lovely, the kind of country towns I've been to so far, and meeting people and just hearing a little bit more about their lives and kind of to support them a little bit more. And I think maybe part of it as well with the classes is that I do a question and answer session so that they actually do get a chance to speak with me and to kind of clarify anything that they may not have been clear in the classes. And I think they were kind of saying that for them was really lovely because they can feel a little bit isolated. So that kind of is an opportunity to feel supported. So it's kind of nice to get back into the real world, because I've been in filming mode and editing mode and creating mode, and now this gets very real now, and it kind of it makes me a little bit emotional, which is good. It means I still have a heart at the end of it, which is good.
Oh, absolutely. And what we'll do is we'll put a little link to your website and the program underneath this video so that if anyone's interested, they can go and check that out.
It's super lovely. Thank you so much, Sarah. It was a delight. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you. And all the very best, Lee. It's the beginning of something really beautiful. I'm absolutely positive.
I really hope so. Have a beautiful day, Sarah. I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Lee. Bye.